Totally enjoy the show, guys. Now, guys, tonight I've been doing a lot of covers in the last set. I think I did a lot of covers. I don't remember what I did last time. It was yesterday, darling. I don't remember. But I think I might have done a lot of covers. I'm not sure. But I might do covers tonight. I might do comedy. I might do modeling. It's totally up in the air. I might do vlogs, darling. Now, guys, remember that when you are trying to be the best of the best, and you want to be the best of the best, and you want to live your life in a way that you have always wanted, you have to remember that life is something that is precious and very important. And if you are able to manage that kind of stuff, great, right? You are able to manage a life of glam. You're able to manage a business of your own. Great, right? And I'm rooting for you guys, okay? There are a lot of people that are out there that make people feel that they're not good enough, or they make people feel they can't do things, right? Now, the majority of the population is not going to be famous, all right? It's 1% of the population that gets famous. And sometimes you just got to put yourself out there to see if you're one of that 1% of the population that gets there, right? Now, remember, guys, that everyone deserves a shot at a side hustle that's good, or fame, or whatever. And there are lots of things you can do nowadays, right? Unfortunately, not everyone's going to be famous. But if you know yourself that you are going to be the star that you can be, and you know yourself that you will make it, then believe in yourselves, right? And remember, guys, it's not something that's out of reach for certain types of people. Now, when I say certain types of people, I don't mean a certain kind of person necessarily. Sometimes it's total luck. Some people are very lucky. They do a side hustle, or they know how to start a business that's very high paying, or they know how to do something, and they're just very lucky, right? But in general, it takes work. It takes challenging yourself. It takes figuring out who you are as a person, all that, right? And remember, guys, if you're like me, you never wavered on the fact that you know you could do it, right? I knew I could be a star. I knew I could do these things, right? I knew I could be, and even now, I'm not famous enough yet, but I mean, I know I'm going to get there. I just know it, right? And if you're like that too, you know yourself where you're headed, right? You know, right? So remember that when you know these things, you automatically just know, right? And it's when you know these things, you don't have to worry because you know, right? Now, there are a lot of people that tell people to not do things, or not be famous, or not do whatever, right? And that's unfortunate. And there are a lot of people that read comments and take negativity out of them. So those comments are not even meant to be negative, but you're just so used to being a certain way that you can't help but feel that it's a negative comment, right? But in general, I mean, even like Little Mix, right? When she was told over and over again that she was the chubby person in the band, right? Like, you know how hard that is to take, right? I mean, for me, I usually get a lot of comments that are not specific. I'm very good. Like, now I'm realizing that most of the comments that I'm getting are not necessarily bad. I just interpreted them that way. But a lot of them, some of them are bad. But most of them I just interpreted bad. Like, sometimes when people made comments and they said something about, like someone will tag someone about my video, right? And they just say, oh, no, not for me, or no, or whatever, right? But that's just how they communicate, right? Like, that's how people communicate, right? They're not going to be like, oh, yes, I'm interested, or yes, this, or they're a god, or they're a goddess, right? They're just going to say no, because that's just how people are, right? And that's normal conversation. So I misinterpreted that before, and I used to think, oh my goodness, they must hate me, they must this, that. This must be a hater. But in general, those comments are not meant to be bad. They're just, a lot of people in general are not really like the kind of person that's going to be like, oh yes, this person's the most gorgeous ever, as a response. I mean, some people will, and that's awesome, and that's what I love, but not everyone has that type of mentality to do a comment like that when they get tagged, right? They just say whatever, right? So that's not to be read badly, right? But in the case of and most of my comments, everyone knows how nice I am, everyone knows how friendly I am, everyone knows I'm going to give to charity in the future when I'm famous. Everyone knows all these things, right? So they don't worry about me, right? But in general, there are some people that are that might say, oh, there's some people that really get negative comments. Like Little Mix, the girl was always called the chubby one, right? And they weren't as friendly as saying the chubby one. I mean, chubby's not exactly a flattering word, but everyone's beautiful in my opinion. But when you're called chubby, the chubby one or the fat one or whatever, then it can take its toll, right? She was always referred to that, right? As that, right? So who wants to be referred to that, right? When you're in a girl band, right? And I mean, the thing is that I'm sure the people that are saying it, I'm sure they're not all saints and they're not all like totally thin. I mean, she was a thin girl, in my opinion. I thought she was fine, right? And she's in a girl band, so she's prettier than most, right? But, you know, in general, you just get these comments and you don't know how to deal with them, right? And I know they're total strangers, and I know they're people that just say random things, and that's why you have to take it with a grain of salt. But some people are like, you know, this is devastating. I'm trying to be in a girl band, and a pretty band, and I'm trying to be the most beautiful one here in a room, and have my female friends to be in a girl band with me and be really popular. And all they keep saying about me is that I'm the chubby one, right? I mean, especially when you're in a girl band, you know, there's obviously some people in the band that are known to be incredibly gorgeous, right? So when you're known to be gorgeous and you're in a girl band and then you have somebody else in the band that gets called chubby or fat all the time, that can take a toll, right? And luckily for us, I'm pretty sure she's still alive. She's not alive herself, thank God. But that can take a toll on someone, right? Now you have to remember that when you are the type of person that reads comments or you see comments and you're just like, oh no, oh no, oh no, you have to remember that when you're seeing these comments, that they're not to be taken seriously, right? Because you don't know, one second guys, you don't know who's actually saying these comments, sorry guys. You don't know who's actually saying these comments, right? Like when you're reading these comments, you might think, oh my God, devastating. But you don't know who's actually saying these comments, right? So to be able to separate yourself from the comment and just work on your progress and work on how you are and what you're doing, right? But in general, like for me, I find that comments, I mean, they're bothering me less and less, and I'm getting less hate because I'm very nice and some people know I'm very nice, right? And most people don't even give me hate comments anymore, really, at all, pretty much. But in general, I think, you know, when you have someone that is getting hate comments, they can take it very wrong and very badly, right? So remember that those hate comments, you can't see who the person is. Maybe they have a disorder where they just make hate comments all day, right? But you don't know, right? So don't take it too seriously. A lot of celebrities, I read my comments, I try to, as much as I can, but a lot of celebrities won't read their comments, right? So don't feel bad that, oh my God, you know, I'm getting all these comments, what am I to do? A lot of people don't even read their comments, right? It's just a good way to gauge where you're at, especially in the beginning, when you have not much of a following and you need to sort of see where you're at. I mean, if you get 10 positive comments, and like really positive comments and then one negative comment, you're in the running, right? You know what I mean? You know, not in the running, you know what I mean? But thank you guys. Totally enjoyed the show, guys. You're doing well, right? Totally enjoyed by now. Au revoir, guys. Au revoir. Thanks, my dolls and kiddos.